Nobody's got my body. Nobody's got my mind. Nobody's got...
What's cooking, WWE Nation? This is Ringside Insider, bringing you fresh wrestling heat every day. Smash subscribe and let's jump right in. Last night's AEW Dynamite kicked off in a way that immediately had fans on the edge of their seats. What started as a simple chance for MJF to grab a microphone and address the crowd quickly spiraled into organized chaos, capturing the unpredictable energy that makes AEW so captivating. The arena was filled with festive chants. "Happy Hanukkah, MJF." But before he could even begin, Hangman Adam Page's music hit, signaling the start of an electric and unplanned sequence. The crowd erupted as Page appeared dramatically on the balcony, a familiar mix of intensity and charisma that instantly shifted the focus from Maxwell to him. It was clear that the night was going to be about more than just words. It was going to be about action, presence, and establishing who was really in control of the evening. Enter Swerve Strickland. As if one surprise entrance wasn't enough, the atmosphere shifted again when Swerve Strickland's theme music blared through the arena, cutting through the crowd's excitement like a knife. The tension in the room spiked as Swerve made his way to the ring, ensuring the energy remained unpredictable. Together, Hangman and Swerve's arrivals immediately reframed the narrative, turning what could have been a traditional promo into an intense standoff. Page, standing tall and commanding attention, called out MJF, reminding him that any prior restrictions on physicality were irrelevant here and now. "This is the Hammerstein Ballroom," Page shouted, emphasizing the unpredictability and high stakes that came with performing in such an iconic venue. Raising the stakes. With both men at ringside, the tension didn't take long to escalate. MJF, known for his sharp wit and confident demeanor, was prepared to respond, but before he could articulate his thoughts, the Ops Dojo appeared, trying to even the odds against Hangman and Swerve. The crowd was treated to a flurry of athletic displays and quick thinking, as Page and Swerve methodically neutralized their opposition with a combination of timing, teamwork, and agility. MJF, wisely assessing the situation, retreated from the ring, keeping the focus on the unfolding chaos while maintaining his calculated persona. This back and forth showcased the unpredictability AEW thrives on. Moments of strategy, improvisation, and audience engagement happening all at once. Samoa Joe declares war. Just when the ring appeared to settle into a tense stalemate, Samoa Joe made his presence known via the big screen. The sudden appearance elevated the drama and reminded everyone that there were larger stakes at play. Joe spoke with measured intensity, clarifying that his focus wasn't about theatrics or fleeting attention, but about exposing real intentions and pursuing personal objectives. He made it clear that the upcoming World's End event was deeply personal and that he intended to defend his title with integrity and precision. His words carried weight, emphasizing preparation, accountability, and a serious challenge to the chaos erupting below. Joe's measured tone contrasted perfectly with the fiery energy at ringside, creating a layered narrative where strategy, ego, and personal rivalry intersected. The chain moment. The action quickly returned to the ring, where MJF, perhaps emboldened or seeking to regain control, tried to strike first. However, Hangman and Swerve's timing and coordination prevented any immediate advantage. They wrapped a chain around MJF in a display that was as symbolic as it was physical, a moment representing confrontation, restraint, and the challenge to MJF's ego and influence. The crowd responded enthusiastically, Sensing that the segment had escalated from standard promos into something cinematic and memorable, what followed was a masterclass in live storytelling, blending in-ring action, narrative development, and audience interaction into one cohesive and gripping moment. Swerve Strickland's moment. Once MJF was secured, Swerve took the microphone and delivered a blistering promo, highlighting the complexities and controversies of the wrestling world. He spoke about past betrayals, pointing out how previous rivalries and alliances had been influenced by MJF's actions. Names like Pinnacle, Wallow, and Adam Cole were mentioned, grounding the promo in AEW's broader storylines while giving fans context for ongoing tension. His words resonated with the audience, combining honesty, intensity, and storytelling in a way that felt organic. The crowd, fully invested in the narrative, responded with raucous energy, reinforcing the effectiveness of live promotion when paired with strong character work and stakes that feel meaningful. Whose house? As the promo reached its climax, Swerve paused, giving the audience exactly what they had been waiting for. A call and response moment. He shouted, "Whose house?" And the arena answered in unison, roaring back, "Swerve's house." This simple yet powerful interaction reminded viewers why audience participation is such a critical element of live wrestling. Paige and Swerve walked out together, leaving the ring in a moment that felt both victorious and symbolic. A brief, narrative resolution that also set up the tension for future confrontations. It was a highlight moment that balanced chaos and structure, giving fans an emotional payoff while keeping the story open-ended for the next chapter. Alliances tested. The segment didn't just provide spectacle, it also tested relationships, rivalries, and alliances. MJF's retreat, the Ops Dojo's involvement, and the coordinated efforts of Hangman and Swerve all underscored the fluid nature of loyalty and strategy in professional wrestling. Every decision made in that moment had ripple effects, hinting at future conflicts and unexpected partnerships. The narrative complexity allowed viewers to engage on multiple levels, emotionally, through the crowd's energy, strategically, by considering the unfolding alliances, and anticipatorily, by wondering who would ultimately gain the upper hand. Building momentum for World's End, with Samoa Joe's declaration, the chain moment, and the chaotic standoff. The opening segment effectively set the stage for the upcoming World's End event. The storytelling was layered and interconnected, drawing fans into multiple threads that promised high stakes and intense competition. Joe's focus on accountability and defending his title added a serious tone, contrasting with the theatricality at ringside while still elevating tension. Fans left the segment with a clear understanding that the upcoming match wasn't just about winning a championship, it was about pride, strategy, and personal investment. Audience engagement. The crowd played a critical role in the segment, responding with chants, cheers, and participation that elevated every moment. From the Happy Hanukkah MJF greeting to the Swerve's house chant, the audience's energy amplified the drama, making each reaction feel essential to the unfolding story. AEW's ability to merge performer storytelling with audience input exemplifies the modern live wrestling experience, where spectators are active participants rather than passive viewers. This symbiosis between performers and fans ensured the opening segment left a lasting impression, demonstrating how engagement drives narrative depth in the ring. Setting up future storylines beyond the spectacle. The opening of Dynamite carefully laid the groundwork for future storylines. MJF's position, both physically and narratively, highlighted his role as a strategic, calculating antagonist. Hangman and Swerve's collaboration demonstrated the potential for alliances that can disrupt expectations, and Samoa Joe's declaration established a personal motivation that transcends standard championship rivalry. Each element was carefully crafted to keep fans guessing, building anticipation for not just one match, but for a series of narrative threads that will converge at World's End. Conclusion. Ultimately, last night's AEW Dynamite segment succeeded on multiple levels. It combined high-intensity entrances, in-ring strategy, character-driven promos, and audience participation to create a sequence that was both chaotic and coherent. Every wrestler played a role in advancing the story, whether through action, speech, or presence. The crowd responded with energy that elevated the moment, making it feel larger than the arena itself. By the end of the segment, alliances were tested, rivalries intensified, and the stakes for World's End were clearly defined. Fans left with anticipation, excitement, and questions about who would come out on top in the coming weeks. The episode showcased why AEW continues to innovate and captivate, blending athleticism, drama, and storytelling into moments that linger long after the lights dim.